Welcome to the Comicstorian channel, where we take some of your favorite pop culture universes, be it a video game, movie, TV show, or comic book, and we break down the storylines and lore within them, giving you an audio drama, allowing you to epically catch up to your favorite pop culture element. Today we're going to be continuing the storyline of the Justice League over at DC Rebirth, and it has been one hell of a crazy ride since the beginning. So let me give you a fast recap to get you caught up to our current plot line, because this story is also 7 issues long and going to have to be broken up into multiple parts. So, Justice League. Starting all the way back at DC Dark Knight's Metal event, they fought against a bunch of evil Batmen basically, which broke the Source Wall in the end as a way to save themselves. That led to the No Justice event, where they discovered that there were elements within the universe that were being used to eat the various planets, and the Justice League had to stop them. What they discovered through that is that the planet of Earth is focused on entropy, and entropy is a way to survive the coming end of the multiverse. That led to Lex and the Legion of Doom getting the totality. And basically the totality is going to allow him to summon Perpetua, who is going to create a new universe that can survive the destruction of the multiverse, but she's going to do it using entropy and chaos and evil. That is leading the Justice League to try to find a way to stop the coming end of the multiverse, and they've gone through a couple of things to figure that out. But their latest plan is to talk to the one individual who has enough power that he might be able to give them some answers, Mr. Mxyzptlk, leading us to right here, right now, 6th Dimension, Part 1. It's awesome, and we have a whole playlist that will give you all of the nitty-gritty to everything I just told you, but that is the bare bones knowledge that you need to know to move into this storyline and see the other Justice League. As Superman flies above the buildings of Metropolis, he gets a call from Batman stating that they are ready. They have made the necessary preparations to call upon him. Superman lands in a rather snowy part of Metropolis, with Flash stating that the weather is exactly what Day 90 predicted it to be. Altogether, the combination should fool him into thinking it's time for him to return. But just before he could finish, the ground begins to shake and Superman calls out to everyone to be ready. They're about to face one of the most powerful beings in all of existence, Mr. Mxyzptlk. From within the small cage, there's a spark and a blip. And inside of it, Mr. Mxyzptlk stands up proud. Well, well, Flash stares, asking, is it really him? And Batman tells him, this is him. Mr. Mxyzptlk is a 5th dimension imp. His powers are off the charts. Wonder Woman then adds that the cage is made from black diamond, capable of trapping even Calypso. It should contain him and keep the city safe. Mr. Mxyzptlk's eyes glow red and he asks, should it? You thought you could pull a mischief on me? Well, this cage might keep the city safe, but who's going to keep you safe from the city? Just then, the lightning strikes down and all of the buildings grow teeth and they begin to eat one another. As the debris begins to fall, Batman tells Superman the Daily Planet just ate his building. Flash begins running towards Mr. Mxyzptlk, stating, I don't really know who stole your Lucky Charms, but there's no way you're going to. But before he could finish, his feet stomp as his legs sink into concrete. Green Lantern John Stewart holds out his ring, and just before he can make a construct, Mr. Mxyzptlk points at him, shouting, it's like a circus in here! John blinks and his ring turns into a boxing glove and his ears are replaced by light bulbs. Soon cars come alive trying to eat everyone and Martian Manhunter shouts, we are not your enemies. Mr. Mxyzptlk rolls around laughing. And you all thought a ridiculous cage would hold me. No, I want to hear you plead and beg. Everyone begins to state, okay, plead, and beg. Mr. Mxyzptlk wipes the tears from his face, stating, yes, you're all at my mercy? The smile quickly fades and he says, okay, what's the real mischief here? Superman tells him it's simple. Martian Manhunter is telepathically making his subconscious repeat his name backwards to neutralize his abilities. Mr. Mxyzptlk sighs as he sits back asking, why would you do this to me? Just to belittle me? Superman tells him, no, in fact, we did this to ask you for your help. You are all-powerful and an incredibly dangerous creature, but at your core, you're not evil. What we are, Mr. Mxyzptlk stops him. I know all too well what you face, and what we all face. Later, at the Hall of Justice, everyone sits with Mr. Mxyzptlk and Martian Manhunter stating that they have recently learned that Hawkgirl's wings hold a pattern that can help them fix everything. Superman then says that they believe it's a map to the 5th dimension. And Hawkgirl then says, where is the 5th dimension? So Mxyzptlk laughs. Where? Well, my dear, it's here. It's all around you. The first dimension is just a stupid point. Boop. The second is a line. Boring. The third is, well, it's material stuff. The fourth is tick-tock time. And the fifth, well, the fifth is imagination. It's everywhere at once. You can't see it, but if you could, you would see that it's freaking dying. Mxyzptlk points to a hole in his head, stating, ever since your tiny brains broke the source wall, imagination has been running wild. The fears, the hopes of every living thing, the imps, we can't keep up, and we're wasting away. Our lifeblood is, well, never mind. The fifth dimension is not where the map is pointing. It's pointing to the sixth dimension. Wonder Woman tells him that there is no sixth dimension. But Mxyzptlk says, ha ha ha, but there is, and it is the key to everything. Here. Mxyzptlk holds out a plate showing the multiverse as a whole, pointing to each of the dimensions. But what they don't see is that there is a sixth dimension. The best way that he could explain it to their small minds is that it's a control, a realm for the thing beyond the imagination. There are 4 beings who could even exist there. The Brothers 3, the Monitor, the Anti-Monitor, and the World Forger, and the one who set it all up, Perpetua. The evil being that Lex is trying to call with the totality. When they are destroyed, they are sometimes reformed there, as the World Forger likely did after their little battle with the Dark. Martian Manhunter asks if it's possible to create a portal to the 6th dimension, and Mxyzptlk says that it would take all of his abilities, but there would be one person who could go. Him! Mxyzptlk points at Superman and Superman asks, me? Mxyzptlk goes on telling him, you would be the only one able to comprehend it. Over the years, I may have been infusing you with 5th dimensional energy to protect you. Superman then asks, you did that because you knew that this would happen? And Mxyzptlk smiles, of course, I exist outside time. Starman then asks, since you exist outside of time, is it possible to know if this will even work? And Mxyzptlk says, haha, no space hippie. Even this is beyond my perception. Superman slams his fist on the table. Do it! Open the portal. But Batman yells, wait a damn second. We're dealing with something beyond our understanding here. And Superman tells him, we are running out of time. This is far bigger than us, yes, and it's terrifying. But we have to reach higher. We are the Justice League. Anyone opposed? No one speaks up, and Superman looks back at Mxyzptlk telling him, this is it. Open the portal. Mxyzptlk concentrates all of his power into his hands, and then pop! A door to the 6th dimension opens up. Superman walks through it, looking back, telling everyone, it's okay, I'll be back. And as that door shuts, Batman says, we don't know how long this is gonna take, so for now, we should. But before he can even finish, there's a knock at the door, and a much older Superman wearing a gleaming white suit steps out, telling them, sorry for being gone so long, but it's good to be back. Batman then asks Martian Manhunter, can you tell if it's really him? So Martian Manhunter tells him that yes, it is the real Superman. Superman then tells everyone, it is me. I've spent the last decade in the 6th dimension, following billions of threads of possibilities. The good news is I found a way to save the universe. Now come, let me show you. Batman asks, how can we? The universe still needs protecting. But Mara and Starman stop him, telling him that they will stay behind to keep an eye on things. Superman then says that he has set the energy portal to handle their signatures when everyone is ready. So, everyone walks through that portal and they step out on the other side and they feel the warm sun shining down on them. Batman asks, what just happened? Superman motions to all of the League's older selves, stating, it's simple. We've won. Now come inside. Let me share the story of how we saved everything. But elsewhere, in a dimension hidden away from everything, a man stumbles in the dark. He calls out asking if anyone can hear him, but he gets no answer. He trips on something, and he flares up his eyes to see dead bodies all around him. Superman screams as he fires a heat vision blast into the air, stating, it can't end this way. It can't! Back in the 6th dimension, the future Superman tells everyone, let me be the first to welcome you to the House of Justice. Martian Manhunter says that he doesn't sense any defenses, and future Superman tells him, because it's open in every sense of the word. It's more of a museum now. A tribute to justice and how it won the day. The full Justice banner is more than a flag. It's the shape of the multiverse now. Just then a young winged Martian looks at Martian Manhunter and Hawkgirl, stating that it's so odd to see their younger selves like this. He senses that they are still like strangers to each other. The future Hawkgirl tells her son, Shane, yes, it was a different time then. Batman says, speaking of time, we don't have much of it. And Wonder Woman adds, yes, if we're going to go to war with the minions of doom, what is the battle plan? Future Wonder Woman says, you fear that the truth is more frightening than you know. And Flash says, we already know that things are scary. The source wall is But before he could finish, Future Flash, infused with himself and Wally, tells him, yes, destroy. Luthor is raising a cosmic goddess. Future John then says, to top it off, the multiverse is hurtling through the void. And John asks, okay, how do we stop it? The future Superman tells him, that's just it. You can't. That is the lesson of this place. It is what I learned exploring every option. In fact, what we need to do is speed it up. We all know that the multiverse is flying through the void, but the question is to where? In the Omniverse, when any one of the multiverses break before its final evolution, it's sent back to the banks of which it's created. Back to the super celestials like Perpetua. Perpetua was the rogue of the group, a bad seed. She created our multiverse using the 7 unnatural energies. She wanted to create something more vicious so it would live forever. But her sons, the ones known as the Monitor, the Anti-Monitor, and the World Forger, lured the others like her, and she was forever imprisoned into the Source Wall. Perpetua's goal was to turn our multiverse away from justice and towards doom, to turn it into a weapon, one pointed at her brethren. So right now we must take control from her and help it achieve a higher form so that it can reach the banks of judgment, so that it will be deemed worthy. Batman says, I was skeptical at first coming here, but I'm listening now. How do we do that? Future Superman sighs, telling him, forgive me. It's just odd hearing you ask when you were the one who... Look, it doesn't matter now. Tomorrow we can talk plans. But today, please go. Explore the world. There are hard days ahead, but on the other side, it's a dream come true. Back in the past, Mara wakes up Jarro from a lovely dream of him being the best Robin that there was to ask him questions. Jarro asks what does she want, and Mara tells him that it's Mr. Mxyzptlk. He's grown some kind of energy cocoon. The readings are off the charts. What is he thinking? Jarro focuses and says, there's a voice. It's telling him, you must do what we agreed upon, Mxyzptlk. Back over in the 6th dimension, the Justice League looks at all of the things their future selves have built and created, but for one person, it's different. He looks over a bright and happy Gotham. And the future Superman says that he knows it's a lot to take in, but it's a testament to his dream, his work. The future Batman says that he would like to thank him, not as Batman, but as his family, as Dick Grayson. Future Nightwing pulls off the mask and goes on telling him that no one gave more for this war than he did. His sacrifice, even his life. They all know that he expected to fight forever, but here, Batman is what he always wanted it to be, a symbol of what's best about them. Batman says that he has questions. First, where the hell are all the villains? But elsewhere, as the night falls, Martian Manhunter and Hawkgirl watch all of the spaceships coming in and out of the port. And Martian Manhunter says that it's odd. Their future selves spoke about them being the shepherds for everyone. They also mentioned concealing part of the truth from the others. Hawkgirl then asks, what does he mean about them not telling the world what really happened to the Source Wall? He thinks that they should have told them the truth. Martian Manhunter sits back, telling them that it's what his entire journey has been about. It's what she taught him. That pursuing the truth, good, bad, ugly, it all matters. But just then Shane shouts to them, no, you mustn't tell them what you feel. You must flee. Now, this place, these people, they're not what you think. Here, I'll show you. And Shane connects his mind with Martian Manhunter and Hawkgirl. And Martian Manhunter says, no, it can't be. Meanwhile, in the hidden dimension, Superman tries to find a light to escape, but the harder that he tries, the more that he can feel his powers draining. Each time that he fails, he falls shorter than the last time, but then a voice calls out to him. Superman steps up, and his future self steps out of the shadows, telling him, I think it's time that we talked. Confusing, I know, but that cliffhanger, oh boy. It's an evil Superman who looks like a good Superman, but who is he really? You need to subscribe to the channel to get the next part of this story. It'll be coming out very, very soon, but if you can't wait, go check out our Patreon. Comicstorian Premium members over in that direction get early access to all of our videos, and I believe part 2 is already out over there, or it's coming out in a couple of days. So if you can't wait, you want to know what's going on, you can read the comic or go to our Patreon. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel because it's going to be coming out very soon. Now, let me know in the comments down below, because more comments on the video helps the video do better, but let me know what you think of the 6th dimension. What do you think of this? What do you think is going on in this universe? And if you've already read the comics, don't spoil it. Just tell me, what do you think of the entire Justice League plot? Do you like where it's going? Do you like what's happening at the Year of the Villain? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will talk to you next time right here at Comicstorian.